Okay, so today we're going to be going over these two steam engines. It's a Bachmann Spectrum 210 and a Bachmann Spectrum 280. Both of them need oiled and lubed. And then this tender here, we will take apart and see if I can isolate some stuff in there a little bit better. So yeah, guess let's just go ahead and get started. Guess I'll do the 280 first, and this thing needs, let's see, the drivetrain should get lubed, and the motor also needs to be lubricated. So carefully do this. Okay. In theory, I think it's just that. And then these two, I think. And of course, pay attention or lay out your screws somewhat in order of how you pull them out. Okay. Now, I want to say that's it. No. It's a little more. Might be this screw as well. Okay. So now this pulls out. Okay, and then slowly but carefully. What is it? This? Yes, that comes out of that side. Over here. That comes out of that side. And then this whole thing literally pulls out. Alright. So, as I said, this whole thing just pulls out. So now we can lube this separate from the rest of the system. Right, okay. Try and make sure your detailing stays in place, right? But this is these are the driving wheels right here. This is a completely separate thing. Now, if we bring this over here, see if I can remember how to take this apart. All right. Yes, correct. So there are no more screws. Just gently pull it out like so. Now, do I have to get in here to lube it? It looks like I do. Okay, so this is where we need to be really, really careful. So go ahead and get your lube. And we're actually going to forego this part for the moment. There's 3 screws. Again, watch what you're doing here. Pay attention, because if you're not paying attention, things can happen quick. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay. All right. Here we go. So, it's like that just rests right in there. All this is trying to move up, which makes sense because it's belt driven and such. See if I can get that to go back into place. Okay, there we go. Now, take our lube here. We want to hit a couple of points. So for right here, we want to go this brass bearing, its oil, this brass bearing, being careful not to get it on the belt. Let me just verify. Okay, that's one of the stocks. All right, that's fine. Okay. That did indeed get oil. I did also notice that that white piece fell down here. Got that. All right. So, as for putting this back together, of course, make sure everything is here. This, nope, not that. This was a stock. Goes into, at least it should go into there. There we go. Okay. Goes into there. This goes here. And I will lube this down here. I just want to make sure. Actually, because that one might be hidden, we'll go ahead and do it now. Go ahead and just a little bit on the worm gear too. Go ahead very carefully. Get this back on. Get it lined up. I know I just took it out of frame, but I'm just trying to make sure things get lined up correctly. Alright, so after a little bit of finagling, we did indeed get it lined up. We got to put this stock back in. There we go. Okay, now, once again, start taking your screws and start tightening things back up. Feels like if it feels like it's not catching, sometimes you gotta lift it up, push the stalk in. There we go. That one now feels like it's catching. Let's go ahead and do this one down here next. I'm going to split this up into 2 videos. Just to show the different disassembly processes, because these videos are taking a little longer than I thought they would. Alright, no, it's not catching again, so we got to go down here. Push on the stalk, maybe. There we go. And you want to make sure that they're tight, of course, but you don't want to over torque it. It's old plastic. Tight, but not over torqued. Last one. This one up by the boiler can be a pain. All right. As you see me struggle here. All right. All right, there we go. Tape it up too tight. So now we have this, right? Take a look at the bottom here. Make sure that white piece is still in there. Make sure this white piece is here. Make sure this black piece on the other side of the worm gear is in that tab there. So in theory, this should work just fine, and it has been lubed. So let's go ahead and bring this guy back over. Light bulb is where it should be. Slide that into the front. Very gently push. Okay, so looking pretty good here. Also go ahead and mess about with that just to be sure. Okay, want to make sure that the wires are pushed down on each side of that. Let's go ahead, grab our driving wheels here. All right, I do need roll. So we're gonna put a generous amount here and then just start running it across our fingers, because that lube has to make it around to all the gears inside. And while you can take that cover off, I would rather not if I don't have to. Now, I am known for over lubing my stuff a little bit, but typically it's fine. Alright, that's plenty there. Alright. Let's bring this back. Let's go ahead and reassemble. Alright. So it looks like this goes into there. Then the rest just kind of follows suit. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our ladders here, pop them back into those holes. Like that. Okay. It is grabbing. So let's go ahead and reassemble driving gear here. I think that's supposed to be on each side of that. Can't quite remember. Okay, so there's that. I think I have the engine turned around from when I was disassembling it, so I believe this screw, two screws are different, so we'll find out here. Well, let's try. No, okay, that does not feel good. So, This is just an example of what happens when you do mix up your screws a little bit. Alright, so that screw did indeed go into the front. I just miscaught the threads at first. Take your other screw. There we go. Okay. And then I think, alright, so the pilot can be somewhat difficult to remember, but if we look here, you see those dots? You want that to line up right in there. Like so. Come on. It is not wanting to. There we go. Okay, there we go. Now, engine has been reassembled. Now we just have to do the front coupler, and I have a baggie here from the first engine I tried to do. Just cut that open here. It should have, looks like this clip here. So just pull this out. Take our front coupler, slide it into there. Take these Bachmann pins that I hate with a passion, and then just try and snap that onto there. Alright, so that clip is now holding in that coupler. I have to put springs in this coupler and the coupler on the tender, but this engine should now be good to go. In the next video, we will do this one. I assume the process should be the same, but I'm not entirely sure on that. So, we'll see. And have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments, and I will see you in the next one.